Alright everybody, Game Cooker US Rocks VR here again. How you doing? Um, so I am gonna do some benchmarks, and this time I'm just going to run the benchmarks and then show you the results. Um, when they're finished or whatever, so that way you can just kind of like breeze through them. So I'm gonna be putting it on pause and then play, playing again, pause, play. Let me get up the specs here because I did change some stuff. Okay, so here's the ADA report. This is like the only thing I could think of to get a nice picture of that you could see. Um, so I have it clocked up to 5,400 megahertz. So I got the multiplier up to 54, which is, you know, pretty high to run all cores all the time. But, when I use my computer, I use my computer. You know what I mean? So um, I need the boost. Now the RAM here, I have it clocked down to 5600 from 6000. Okay, so it's running at 2 times 2800. All right, so that's the only thing I really changed. Everything else that I showed you in the other video was the same. And then of course I did like a little benchmark. Come on. Which I don't know if you guys care about this. It was just testing the onboard memory. Now I don't know if this is based on my M.2 drive, because I don't I went cheap instead of expensive, so I have a mix of Gen 3 and Gen 4. I'm not sure what my boot drive is, but it probably does about 2,000 to 3,500, something like that. So I don't know if that's being held back. This is being held back by that. I'm not sure. And again, here you can see CPU clock at 5400. RAM is at 2800 megahertz times 2. And you can see here it's set at 5600, even though it's 6000 RAM. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's what I have it set at right now. It seems to be stable. I guess we'll find out. Now, there was one moment where hardware monitor, I was doing a benchmark in 3D Mark, and some of these cores got up to like 105 degrees. So that was like, whoa, why was it that much? You know what I mean? So I'm not sure what happened there. Of course, I think that was during a stress test, but still, that's still pretty high. All right, I'll be back with some benchmarks. Okay, so I'm going to be doing Ghost Recon Wildlands. So I'm going to be testing it at 4K, which, my max on the monitor is 144. Graphics, everything is up high, ultra, very high. Don't want bloom. I don't really want depth of field. And that should be it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and benchmark this, so let me pause it. Alright, so as you can see here, 4K ultra settings, 84 FPS. It didn't seem like the CPU was holding the GPU back. I don't know what the report will show. I guess I can check that real quick. Okay, so if you want to look at the chart here, let me move out of the way here for now. So we got the average frame rate here, GPU peak temperature, CPU usage, GPU usage, and RAM usage. Now you might be wondering, well, why didn't I get higher frame rate than this? Well, probably because we got all the NVIDIA effects enabled, so I'm going to try high next. Be right back. Okay, I don't know what I just did there, but anyway, hopefully I recorded the other stuff. So we're doing 4K very high now, okay? I don't think it hit record again when I was talking before. I hope it did. All right, be right back. Okay, so now we're done the very high, and we got about 10 frames, a little more than 10 frames more per second, roughly. So, and the max and the minimums went way up. So we have 99 average, 86 minimum, and 112 max. So things were tightening up a little there, huh? So the GPU was working about the same. All right, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go ahead and do high. All right, so we're still at 4K. I mean, I hate going back and forth. I'm just showing you 4K. Now we're on high preset, so everything's down a little bit more. Anisotropic is only at 4. I'm sure it's still going to look pretty good. So we'll run the benchmark. Be right back. Okay. So we had about 11 more frames per second average. 92 minimum, 125 max, so still pretty tight there. GPU is still at 98.8%. So, you know, it's pretty good, you know, from ultra to very high to high. It's like pretty much 10 or 11 FPS more you're gaining. So now it wants me to, now I want to go to medium and see what it does. So let's do medium. We'll end off on medium. So rather than like say going down to 1440p, although I might do that, I might do like 1440p high, just do like one, because I don't have time to do that many. So I'm really more concerned with 4K, because if it does well at 4K, you know it's going to do pretty well at 1440. All right. Be right back. All right, so we're at 4K again. And this time I'll play the benchmark so you can watch it. Graphics are on medium. But I like to pretty much set the settings the way I would like to play. So even though it's medium, we could probably turn TAA back on and put this anitropic all the way up to 16 because it really doesn't take much processing power. So we're at medium. Everything's medium. You can see for the most part. I mean, medium is like medium high, but whatever. And then ambient occlusion is SSBC. So medium with just temporal turned on and um, anisotropic up to 16. So we're going to run the benchmark. I mean, we are recording, so the FPS might go down by like 5%. So just keep that in mind in this run. So you probably want to add like 5, maybe 5 to 6 FPS. Now you can see the GPU is, well, in that area back there was kind of bouncing around a little bit more. Still seems like it's about the same. Alright, so it's less. And that's probably because I was recording, so like I said, you can add probably about 6 to this, so it probably would get about a 115 to 120. So what I'll do is I'll run it again without you and then show you if it's different. So we're going to stay on medium, but without recording. Alright, so there you have it. So I wasn't too far off. I mean, it's going to vary each time you run it, obviously. So I said 115, so 113. Seems like the CPU is starting to maybe become a bottleneck, maybe. But we'll see. So we're going to do 1440 next. So this was medium with the anisotropic up and the TAA. So, yeah. I'll be back with 1440. So I have to put it on full screen to make it stick at 1440. So we're at 1440 now. It's only using 2.8 gigs of VRAM. That's crazy. I'm gonna sneeze. So it's on high preset. I didn't change any settings. So we're just gonna run it at 1440 high. And see what we get. So I'm just gonna, so I don't have to sit there and minimize the window again. I'll just run it while we're recording. Again, just add like, 4 or 5 FPS. You might be going, why are you testing Ghost Recon? Well, I mean, it's still a pretty hard game to run at the highest setting. I mean, the graphics are not, shabby, Still pretty darn good looking game. So, add like whatever you want on there, 3 or 4. So we'd be getting like 135 frames per second at high settings. That's not bad. The minimum and the max is pretty tight, pretty close to this 132. Now you can see here the GPU was only 82.6% utilized, so the 7900X is becoming the bottleneck. Even though it says it's not using much, but I guess just the speed of it can't keep up with the GPU. Yep, so yeah. All right, next benchmark. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I'll let you know when I get back on. Okay, I'm back. I am in the Division 2. Again, another very nice looking game. Um, does work the system. Um, so I'm in windowed full screen mode, and you can see here it's 2160. So that's just so I can minimize the window. DirectX 12, no HDR, reduced latency. I'm not sure if that. It says may cause lower frame rate. I wonder if that's gonna say restart the game. Okay, no. Okay, so we're gonna turn that off so we can get a more accurate frame rate. Graphics, I turned everything up. So I turned all the blurs and stuff off. So we got shadow very high, spot shadows high, spot shadow resolution is ultra, contact shadows all high, resolution scales at 100%, sharpening up to 7, particle ultra, fog ultra, reflection quality high, local reflection very high, vegetation high, subsurface scattering on, anisotropic filtering 16 times, parallax mapping is on, ambient occlusion is on, depth of field is off, object detail 100, extra streaming distance 10. I have neutral lighting off, lens flare on, vignette off, water quality high, chromatic off, texture resolution 512 or projected texture resolution 512, high resolution sky textures, yes, terrain quality high, and anti-aliasing on medium because I'm at 4K. So I'm going to benchmark now. Be right back. Okay, so you can see here 4K, everything was turned up all the way. I don't know how well you can see all this. 160 frames per second. Now it said the GPU is only being used 64%, so I don't know exactly what that means. Doesn't seem like it was working too hard. Yeah, so 116 is pretty nice at 4K at Ultra. I don't know if we can open the results here. Okay, so that's just the text file. And that's just the same. You can see here Ryzen 9 7900X, RTX 4090. Yep. All right, so I am going to go ahead and put it on high. So I'm going to go from ultra to high, and then I'm going to do 1440. Okay, so let's see here. So we're still at 4K. We're going to go to high, and I won't change anything. So we were at like ultra plus. Now we're gonna do. I gotta restart the game. I don't know why. Pretty dumb. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so 1440p high. It says here we were at 143. We were only using just a little over 50% of the GPU's power. And the CPU, you know, didn't have to do a lot of work either, apparently. But I think I might have VSync on. So let me just double check. Because well, it should have been up to 265 actually. Yeah, so 143. Let me just check. Oh, VSync. Well, probably when I change the settings. When I changed it to high, it probably turned VSync on, which is pretty stupid. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so none of that changed. Alright, so I'm going to run it again. Now that we have VSync off. Let's try it. Now I'm going to run it while we're recording. It should run pretty high. There we go. Yep. And remember, just add like 5 frames per second to whatever the final number is. So no problem here getting a high refresh rate. You know? No problemo. So for the most part, it seems the CP, let's see, the CCD 0, the highest temperature was 95.8, which is above the 95, which I think the limit for these Ryzen chips is 95. So it did briefly go above 95. Oh wait, this is I said 1440, didn't I? It's still 4K medium. I don't know why I said that. 4K medium. Or high, 4K high. I don't know, I'm lost now. So we're at 149 at 4K. We have to look at the settings again because I lost track. I'm very tired. So it's over 150. So if you have a 144 hertz monitor, it'll be over 150. So yeah, let me just see here. So it's on a mixture of medium and high. Let me just see what high says here. Oh yeah, so it was high, okay. So I don't know if we should bother going down the medium. Turn VSync off. Oh, come on. So now we're at medium. We can see what that is. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, so 4K medium. I said 1440 again, didn't I? Before. 4K medium, you get 171. So GPU is working even less. All right, so the next benchmark now is going to be 1440p. All right, so not bad. You can get a 165 hertz monitor and play this game on medium at 4K, and you'll be able to get a 4K high refresh rate experience. All right, I'll be back. All right, so here we are at 1440. I'm gonna put that all the way up there to 240. All right, so it should be. Let me apply that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. Let's just hope. um, Otherwise, I gotta play it in a window. So I'm at high settings. It went and changed because I changed the Anyway, so we're at high, which is weird because. Well, let me just go to high. So VSync off. See, every time you. So we're gonna put it on high. Ugh. VSync off. So it's gonna be 1440p high. Okay. I mean, I guess we can just apply it. See, it's gonna shrink down though, unfortunately. I mean, I could try to do the game thing here. Let's see. Yeah, for some reason it does not want to. Not sure what's going on here. Doesn't want to show the game. Alright, well anyway, oh, there we go. Now it wants to work. Okay, good. Alright, great. I'll be back. Okay, so we're back again. So it says full screen 1440 240, so I assume it's going to run that way. VSync is off. So 1440 high. I'll be back. Okay. So 1440p high, you'll get 170. So not bad. I think 4K medium we were getting what 170, just or almost 165 or somewhere around there. So 1440p high, which will be better graphics, well, for the resolution, of course, you'll get 170. But look at the GPU, 38%. Isn't that crazy? I wonder if it has the highest temperature. Let's see. Um, let's see here. I don't know which one the last one. Maybe the last one. Let's see. Yeah. Let's. I don't know if it has the temperatures on here or not. So this is like the whole benchmark run. Wow. Okay. It doesn't give you like. It doesn't give you like the temperatures and stuff, unfortunately. I forget how you change this to graphs. I have to read up on this. There's a way to export it as a graph. You're wondering why I'm looking like that because I got a glare on my glasses. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out later. Well, they don't have the temperatures, I guess. So, um, yeah. All right, anyway, um, I will be back with another game. Okay, so we are in um, Far Cry 6. I don't know if you can see anything. I guess not. Well, anyway, you can see here. Far Cry 6. So, we're at 4K. I don't know if they have borderless. Okay, yeah, so they have a borderless for this. Um, I don't see VSync. So the graphics we're going to put all on ultra for now. No HD textures. No ray tracing right now. Okay. No fidelity stuff. So we're just going to do 4K ultra. I turned off like motion blur and all that stuff. Color's good, advanced. I usually like my field of view like an 85. Yeah, so, yep. So there you go. So 4K Ultra. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so 4K Ultra. Um, doesn't say that anywhere, does it? So I used 10.4 gigs of VRAM. So we got an average of 101. Maximum was 110. Sorry, you can't see my mouse. So average 101, maximum 110, minimum 89. So that's pretty tight. Oh, right here, graphics ultra, so you can see that. So not too bad, not too bad. So the next one is going to be, I'm just going to go straight to the ray tracing. So we're going to enable ray tracing on the reflections and shadows. I guess it's going to save, right? Let's see. Yeah. This is adaptive sharpening, which I don't really care too much about that right now. And then, of course, you can use FSR if you want. We'll see what the frame rate is first. If the frame rate goes way down with ray tracing on, then maybe we'll try FSR quality. Alright, so we're doing Ultra 4K with ray tracing on. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so a little less, but not too bad. Got an average of 86, a maximum of 99, and a minimum of 77, so it's not really that far off. And that's with ray tracing on, which it doesn't tell you here. but you saw that um, at Ultra. So we might be able to maybe put some FSR quality on. I don't like FSR, but since it's all we got, let's put it on quality, right? So that we can see how much of an increase we can get in FPS with the ray tracing. Okay. I don't know if this sharpening um, nah, yeah, we don't want that. I don't think we want that. Yeah, okay, we'll just skip that. So we got the ray tracing with FSR quality. And you can watch this one. Again, add about 5, you know, at least 5 FPS to the average. Because we are recording. So, I mean, it looks pretty good, you know. I mean, native looked pretty good actually, but the ray tracing does look a little better. So, you know, FSR helped out a little bit, not much. And it didn't look too bad. I didn't notice any too much stuff. There might have been some stuff on the fences and stuff like that, but so we got 94 for an average, maximum 129, minimum 80. So still pretty tight. So, you know, you could play the game at 4K, ray tracing ultra with a little FSR quality. Probably be pretty good. It seems like it's implemented pretty good in this game. I didn't notice a lot of anomalies. Because, you know, just because it's 4K don't mean anything. All right, I'm going to be back with 1440. Okay, so we're at 1440. Ultra, no ray tracing, and no FSR. All right, so 1440, Ultra, no FSR. Be right back. Okay, so we just got done 1440 Ultra. We had an average of 112 with a maximum of 143 and a minimum of 82. So a little less tight, but not terrible. You know, if you're like within 40 frames per second, I think that that's probably acceptable. It's when you start getting like 50 and 60 and 70, you know, then you're getting a lot of like stuttering. But the the benchmark was smooth. Now, if you look here, we did use 8.92 gigabytes of VRAM. So people with 8 gig cards, you'll have to adjust some settings. And to be honest, the game looked really good at 1440, even without ray tracing. So the one thing I do have to say about Ubisoft, as much as I have some things I don't like them for, the engine that they use here, I mean, is a pretty decent looking engine. You know what I mean? I don't know why more people don't like make games with this engine. Like, I don't understand why they don't rent it out. like, I don't know. It runs pretty good. I mean, it scales well. I mean, at 1440, I mean, we're getting 112 frames per second. Of course, with this setup, obviously. I know it's a 4090, but still, I mean, a 4070, you're probably still going to get excellent frame rate at 1440. So, yeah, I don't understand it, man. They all these new games that come out and they just run so crappy. I don't know. What do you want me to say? I don't know. All right, so we're going to go with a little ray tracing here. So we're still at 1440, and we're going to turn on the heavy stuff. Let me just make sure it takes on, okay? And I guess we can watch it. Should we do FSR? I'll do FSR after I run this, so I'll be right back. So we're doing 1440 Ultra with ray tracing, no FSR. Okay, we didn't do too bad again. So I mean, there really isn't a huge difference between the real-time ray tracing and the reflections that they have in the game. Because if you do like lighting in the game, even if you bake it in or whatever you do, if you do it correctly, there should be a performance hit, right? If it's going to look its best. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They're like going, "Oh, what do I need ray tracing for?" Well, you don't need it, but it looks better, like when you have it implemented properly, right? So so here you can see we have a 92, maximum of 132, minimum of 75. So again, still fairly tight, it's pretty good. So 1440 Ultra with ray tracing. And with the ray tracing here, it's using 9.54. Okay. And we are going to do like an FSR run right now, but I wanted to just change it to medium just to see if this will go below 8 gigs. I doubt it, but that way we can kind of see like, is it doable? Because right now we're at Ultra. So if we go down to high, we're at 9.3. Wow. So medium, it's still 9.25. That's crazy. Huh. So even without the ray tracing, it's at 8.66. Huh. I wonder. So yeah, HD textures take more. So what can we turn down here? Let's go to high and play around with this a little bit. So ray tracing is on. Yeah, there really isn't a whole lot you can change here. I mean, like environment, that's not really changing it a whole lot. The water, a little bit. Terrain, that's not really changing it much either. Huh. Yeah, so you can't really. I mean, shadows, the whole point of ray tracing is because you want all that. So texture filtering, I don't really see what that's doing. Okay, so it does kind of, I guess, make it look a little better. I mean, that's really the only thing besides, say, the fog that you can turn down in the water. So yeah, I mean, even on all low, It's still 8.41. Wow. So you can't even like run the game. Well, you could. It's going to go into the RAM. I wonder what happens if you put FSR on. It still doesn't change it. Huh. Interesting. Huh. Alright, so we're going to go back up to, we'll go up to, Ultra. With ray tracing on. With FSR on quality again. At 1440. So we can go ahead and watch this. So we're at 9.54. So I can see why a lot of people had trouble running this. I mean, you can run it. It will use the VRAM, the system RAM. You know, um, let me just move me over just a little. It'll use the system RAM, so that'll drop your um, frame rate a little bit more. Well, a lot more probably. All right, let's do 1440 with FSR ray tracing. See how much of a boost it gives. So we're at like 124 right now. We were like what, in the 90s? 91, 92? So it looks pretty good still. There's a little bit of shimmy, like on the, you know, the buildings, the posts. Yeah, there's a little bit of shimmy going on at the lower 1440 now. But I mean, if you wanted to get up to that 120, if you had a 120 hertz monitor. Yeah, so we got a 93 average. So pretty much the same as before. So that's kind of weird, don't you think? We were at ultra. Oops, darn it. I did not want to do that. Crap. Let's open the folder. This was the one we just did. Yeah, that's the one we just did. Let me pull that off. Alright, so can you see this? Why can't you see that? Oh, because I'm in the game. There we go. Yeah, so really, FSR really didn't do anything, actually. It doesn't show ray tracing here. Well, this one might not have had ray tracing. Let's see. Is this the one with the ray tracing? No, it doesn't show it. Huh. I thought I put it on high. It didn't change? Hmm. Yeah, it should have been these two. 1440. but it didn't change the high for some reason. See, it says ultra still. Huh. Alright, let me, see, it still says ultra. I thought I'd changed it to high. Sorry. I thought I put it on high. Okay, so everything's on high now. High. With FSR and quality. Alright, so we should be getting more now. 1440 high, ray tracing, FSR quality. So now we should get more than 90 something. I'm very tired. I only slept a couple hours last night. Still doesn't seem to change here. Why? It's a little bit higher, I guess. Okay, so, well, there's 99 now. Still going under 100. That's surprising. You figure with the turning down the settings, it would have helped it out. But then again, it didn't really change the VRAM requirements, did it? So we got an average of 95, maximum of 129, a minimum of 79. So still pretty tight. We only had a... remember though, you got to add like 4 or 5 to this number. So if I wasn't recording, we probably would have gotten over at least 100 the whole time. So that's not bad with 1440p ray tracing. I'd say that's pretty good. Yeah, so we're doing pretty good so far. Alright, that's it for this game. Next game. Alright, so we're in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's giving me a lot of trouble with this full screen. So now it's at full screen. VSync is off. Field of view is whatever it is. So we're gonna go 4K graphics. We're gonna just do ultra high. I'll just keep it all on for now, whatever, it doesn't matter. So I'll just keep it the way it is. So we'll go to ultra high, apply, and it wants to restart, I guess. Let me pause. Okay, I'm back. Had to minimize it. Okay, so just double check here. So we're at 4K. VSync is off. Graphics are on ultra. No adaptive quality and no upscaling. So let's run this benchmark. Oh, I gotta be right back. Okay. Alright, so 4K Ultra with anti-aliasing on high. We got a 96 average, a max of 170, and a minimum of 49. So this wasn't very tight. It got a little choppy when it went over the water. So I think what I would do is turn the anti-aliasing down, probably, and see if that fixes it. So, but we're gonna go to high and see what we get. All right, so I'll be back. Okay, so 4K high with anti-aliasing up on high. We got 107 with a max of 185 and a minimum of 52. There's a lot of micro stuttering I noticed in this game as the benchmark was going. Now, the other thing I just noticed here, it says Windows 10 Business Edition. I actually have Windows 11 Pro, so it's probably the same. Because really, Windows 11 is really just Windows 10 on steroids. Basically, I guess. You know what I mean? They probably use the same kernel. I don't know, though. So I don't know if I should do 1440. I think this anti-aliasing is what's keeping it down. I think if we turn that down, it would go up. So I have to change it to borderless, and they keep making me go back to the beginning. Anyway. Alright, I hope I did this right before. It was still paused, so I don't know how long it was like that. So we're at 1440p. High. And I turn the anti-aliasing down to medium. Alright, so everything's on high. No upsampling. 1440p. So let's go ahead and we can watch this together, I guess. So let's see if we get a lot more. So it's a lot higher now. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you can see we're like in the 140s and 150s. So if you want to do 1440p high refresh, like 144, then you want to do high with medium anti-aliasing with this system. And this is no upscaling. And unfortunately, this game doesn't have ray tracing. I don't really know why they put ray tracing in some games, and some games they don't. I mean, I wish they would just put it in all the games. Maybe it's because this, I don't think this engine is the same as the Division and Ghost Recon, I don't think. So yeah, big increase there. Look at that. 157. Max 221. Minimum 69, so not really that tight. Could be better. Now that minimum probably came at the beginning when it asked me that question. Because here it says 1% was 107 and the 0.1% was 83, so that's better. So yeah, not bad. Alright, I think we'll do one more game with ray tracing. So let me pause this. Okay, this will be the last title because I gotta get off. So I'm doing the Watchdog Legion just because it's got the benchmark and ray tracing, so you kind of see how it does. Um, so field of view, I always like it up to maybe 85. We're at 4K, full screen with hidden border, 4090. Quality, where everything's on ultra so far, whatever the default was. Ray tracing is off, DLSS is off, so we got TAA on. So we're basically at 4K Ultra, it looks like. So they also have a higher than Ultra, I guess. But yeah, 4K Ultra, I'm not going to change anything. VSync is off. So let's run this benchmark. I'll be right back. Okay. So we were at Ultra settings, 4K. We got average of 85 here. Max 130, minimum 22. I'm not sure where that came in. It was fairly smooth. So I would just go by these numbers here, which I guess that's what you're supposed to do anyway. It's not as tight. I don't like that distance. 68 to 130 is pushing it. But I mean, it looks smooth, so I don't know. I don't know what the impact is. What's impact? Oh, that's the settings, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, so we're just going to put, so that was 4K Ultra. Um, we're going to go with ray tracing now. So 4K Ultra with ray tracing on Ultra. So we're using 9.8 gigs of VRAM. So no DLSS yet. Get on. We're going to turn that off. Let me make sure that's saved. Ray Trace Ultra, no DLSS. So this is going to be pretty rough. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so took a pretty big hit there. Average is 46, max 66, minimum 31. So that's a little tighter. But yeah, that's kind of pretty rough. So I'll have to use some DLSS. So let's go ahead and let's turn this down to very high. Ray tracing on ultra with DLSS on quality. Okay. They even have extra detail here. Look at that. Feature proof, huh? So we're going to do very high ray tracing. Not sure why TAA is on. I guess that's because it uses the same thing. I don't know. So we're at 4K, no VSync. Very high ray tracing with DLSS quality. So we can watch. You can watch that. Let's run the benchmark. I think for the most part we're good. So we're going to run the benchmark. So again, add about 5 FPS to the average at least. Maybe with ray tracing, it may even be higher than that, but I haven't tested it. I always say 5%, you know, whatever 5% is. Yeah, so we're not doing too bad here. 82 frames per second. Not bad at all. Looks good. Looks real good. I would definitely be able to play like this easily if I played this game. They just didn't make the water movable. See, they're not making any splash. So they could have made the water dynamic. Now this benchmark I think is a little bit different each time it goes. It's not always exactly the same. But I would say that was probably a lot worse than it is in the regular. Yeah, so we didn't do too bad actually. So average 82, max 120, minimum 48. Yeah, so this is this combination here, this 4090 and 7900X. I mean, it's not a bad combination. You know, this ray tracing's pretty heavy in this game. Plus we have it turned up to ultra. I mean, I don't know if I should bother with 1440. I mean, I guess we can look at it. Just in case somebody wants to buy the 4090 and a 7900X to play super high 1440. Sorry, I got the sniffles. Okay, whoa. That extends to all the monitors? That's funny. Alright, so we're going to do 1440p. It's not going to let me do it, huh? Well, let me change it. Crap, I knew it was going to do that. It won't let me do it. Here we go, full screen. Let's try that. Yeah, you can't see what's going on because I have it in a window. Alright, so we're at 1440. No frame rate limit. We'll stick with very high with ray tracing on ultra and DLSS quality. Let's keep that the same. Because we probably, I mean, at the very most, you're probably just going to put it down to high. So let's just take the worst case scenario here. So, because I don't think you should play it on ultra. still. Because if you're going to play at 1440, you want the most FPS as possible. And you don't want to compromise too much on the looks, because we're already at DLSS quality. So let's go ahead and run the benchmark again while it's recording. No crashes so far. That's a good thing. So that's a good sign. Although running a benchmark and playing in a game are two different things. So it's about the same. Interesting. We have to check the resolution. It might have went back up to 4K again. I mean, everything looks good. If this is 1440p, it looks pretty nice. We are getting a little higher. But again, we are on ray tracing ultra, so this is full ray tracing. I hope you can hear me with all this noise. It's pretty loud. I didn't realize it was up so loud. That's very loud. Okay, so that time it still said average of 87, which is surprising. Max 127, minimum 47, so it didn't change too much from the, let's see, does it have 1440 here? Yep, 1440. Very high, ray tracing on ultra, DLSS on quality, huh. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know, you want to see regular? But remember, you got to add 5 FPS to that, so, you know. So let's turn off ray tracing. And DLSS, and we're probably going to come back to the same, because we're turning off DLSS. Alright, let's run this benchmark and see what it is. So we're on 1440 very high, basically. No ray tracing. Okay, so we're over 100, so that's good. So you could probably turn it down to like high, and then put like the ray tracing on like high. And that'll probably be a good experience. If you needed a little more FPS, you could put it on DLSS quality. I can't turn it down now. It's pretty loud though.
did you go off to?
When I see anybody, I'll go over there.
Okay, that was a lot higher. So average was 115, max 176, minimum 65. Not bad at all. So 1440, very high. Not bad, not bad. So let's see what would happen if we put DLSS quality on. I said that was the last one, but this would be the last one. So let's put it on DLSS quality. Oh, this should, I thought this was already up. I didn't even notice that. I don't think it was keeping us down, but I always like to put it on the highest. Yeah, so we're doing very high with DLSS quality. So let's go ahead and see if that gives us a little more. It should. We'll see. Doesn't seem too much higher. We might be more CPU bound.
Don't let the tithead get away.
What the fuck? Hey, no loitering here. We need you to leave. We'll put you out. Coming with us. Nothing you can do about it. No more games.
It's funny how the bodies just fly, but they don't really get hurt. Okay, so this is interesting. So 115, max 174, and 36. It's the same as before. Interesting. So better off keeping DLSS off. Huh, weird. Very weird. Alright, guys. I think that's it for now. So, you know, if you watched it all the way through, what do you think about the 4090 and the 7900X? I'm going to do more benchmarks. I'll do another set, um, later. I'll do like Tomb Raiders and, some other games. I don't have a lot of the new games, um, except for Avatar. And what else did I do? I did Cyberpunk. I did the other ones in the other videos. So just check my channel. of all the videos that have the title with the 7900X and the 4090. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. Have a good day. Have a good life. Love y'all. Like, sub, share, support if you can. Peace.